They
Peace,
don't get.
love, and blessings. What? Peace, love, and blessings to you all. Welcome back and welcome to Redefining Authenticity. My name is Sheronda L. Barksdale, the vision specialist at authenticallyyourexpressions.com, where we are helping you live your most authentic life.
Yes, and it's your girl, Kim Martin Raymond. I am your toolbox essentialist and founder of Redefining You LLC, where I help my clients to realign themselves, mind, body, and spirit. You're welcome. Happy Monday.
Sam, there's no better way to start the show. There's no better way. I love our intro. Like, I
Yes.
don't know what. That music is jamming every single time.
Yes. Yes. Shout out to my cousin Mike De Niro Music,
Thank
and
you,
I love it.
Mike.
Yes, yes, that's my boy. That's my boy. I love the music, honey. It gets us going. But we
Yes.
here.
Where
I'm
in the world
home.
is Carmen San Diego?
I'm home. I am home. It's like, check it out. Not again. What? So, I'm
Two
in town.
times in a
Yeah,
row.
but like the big rib, like for limited time only. I'm here for a couple of days, and then I'm off to the races again. I'll be in South Carolina at the end of the week, but I am here today. Glad to be home. In
Glad to
this
have you
place.
here in the A.
Yes.
Before we even get started, I would like to share with those any upcoming things you have, anything upcoming I have. But Kim was a present for my very first group coaching session last night that we did online. And the name of it that Spirit has dropped into me is going to be Rest, Reclaiming Every Second of Our Time. We're going to learn. This is a beautiful conversation amongst Black women, just talking about a little bit of politics, but reminding ourselves of who we are, what we do, what we bring to the table, and reclaiming that stuff to give some of it to ourselves. Get
Yeah.
these cups overflowing so that we could give from the overflow and not from our actual cup. So that will be on my website very, very soon. You got anything
Yes,
else?
yes. It was an awesome session last night. I loved each and every moment of it. It was great to
Yes.
be there, and it just goes to show that, Sharonda and I have history. We've got 9 years, going on 10 years of working with each other, being business partners, doing all kinds of stuff. It's just been a wonderful ride. And I mean, honey, she got an acronym for everything, and I love it. I'm
I
here
can't help
for
it.
it. Rest. I'm like, come on now. I had to
Rest.
write it down because I can't remember anything.
That's but it can't. Those things come out. They flow like from.
Yes,
I know from spirit. It flows directly out of
yes,
my spirit, like
yes.
reclaiming every second of your time. I was like, thank
That's it.
you. I
That's it.
like that. So
Yes, and we
yes,
do
let's do
cope,
it.
and we do
Rest.
cope, creating our peaceful existence. I always give her props for that because she gave that one, and I use it all the time, and so I give her props for it because
Run it
she
up.
came up with that. Okay,
Run
I
it
had to
up.
ask. I was like, "Can I have permission to use that one?" I said, "Because girl, I'm putting the steering wheel on that one every chance I get. I'm telling people how they can cope, create our peaceful existence. I'm
Yeah.
riding it till the wheels fall off." And so, anyway, like I said, it was a wonderful session, and I'm happy to see the institute back and up and running, and people have been waiting with bated breath for it to start. And so it's here. And then what I've got going, I've got my 365-day challenge. We are 34 days in. Okay, I'm so excited. People are
You're doing so good.
joining, and I it's been a commitment to put your face on the camera every single day
Yeah.
and to connect with people and to share little fun facts. And then of course, for it's Black History Month, so I'm going back to my signature headbands, and I've got some matching earrings with some. So I'm telling people, check out my little cute little headbands. Okay, I'm blackly black for
Black, black, black.
for Black History Month, and I wanted to share that. And I'm giving a Black History fact every single day for the month of February as well. So that's what I've got going on. And you can go to my website, www.hownow.podcast.com, and then you can click on the 365-day challenge and join in and just come and see what I'm doing every day.
Every day. Every day.
All right.
Yes, ready to get started.
Yes,
And I'm in my new office space. My roommate has moved on. She moved out, so I took over the space. I was not giving the boys, y'all will stay in the same room together. You'll be all right. And I took over my office space so I can make my room blackly black, black, black.
Okay.
Next time we come up, this room will be nice and blackly black, black, black.
All right, that's it. Well, we waiting for it. I'm happy that like you said, you got your space back. It's something zen about having that space of solace, that place where you can go, where you can be creative, where you can
Yes,
expand and grow. We love
yes.
that.
The
We love
expansion is everything, and I wish her the absolute best. So
it. Yes,
I'm ready
yes.
when you're ready, my darling.
All right, let's get it cracking. See what we're talking about today.
Let's go.
All right.
So, part of redefining authenticity is reminding yourself of how to fall in love with yourself. That's a beautiful and very passionate process. And I'm glad we're having that conversation. This is part one of how many parts, Kim?
4.
So, y'all have 4-part series
Yes.
to really be in touch and learn what it means. This is an ever going process. We don't stop this at 20, at 30, at 40. Till you leave here, you're supposed to be having experiences of falling in love with you on a consistent basis so
Right.
that you're living a life that feels great. Because if you don't love you,
Right.
it's gonna be kind of hard to get other people to too. So, planning your new era for a series of 4, we're going to talk about what it means to plan your new era. Let's go, Kim.
That's it. And then, like you said, this is the month of love. That's why we said it's called falling in love with you. It's the month of love. Valentine's Day is next Friday, and so we don't just use that as a term of endearment for our self love, but it is a good opportunity. It's a good starting
Perfect.
point to be able to fall in love with ourselves and, like she said, get into that new era. So let's go to
And
the
if you're in
first.
the room, give us a quick shout
Yes,
out in the comments. We want to know you're
please do. Let us know you're here. Say
yeah.
what's up.
Say what's up. So, am I doing this first one, Kim?
I can do it or you can do it. Doesn't matter.
Go off.
All right. Well, the first thing that we want to ask ourselves when we're talking about planning our new era and falling in love with ourselves is, what do we look like?
Mhm.
How do we look like? How do we present ourselves to the world? And that's something that's important, you know, because people are drawn to us, though they make their first impressions by what they see. And
Yes.
so, how are you presenting yourself when you're going outside, when you're engaging in different activities? How are you presenting yourself? What is your style? What is your physical appearance? Is there something about you that is signature?
Yep.
For years and years, like I was saying with my head wraps, they were signature. I had a head wrap that matched every outfit that I wore. That was something that when people saw me or when they saw that headband and that head wrap, they knew that was me. That was something that was signature about my look. But what is it? What is it about you that people can refer to? The
Yes.
way I walk, people know the way I walk. When they see me coming down the street, they're like, "I knew that was Kim because I walk. I square my shoulders.
Mhm.
I look like my dad and I walk like him." So there are certain things that are distinctive about you. And you want to ask yourself, what are those physical appearances and what is your style? And is that something that you're happy with, or is it something that you're willing to change?
Yep. I agree fully, absolutely. For a long time, and I still have some issues with style because I know I have body image issues at times. Just having children, how things have shifted, how things are shifting in perimenopause,
ING, yes.
how things are shifting. And so I'm still getting adjusted. I have my children a lot older than most do. My first was at 33. The second was 2 weeks before I turned 40. So they shifted some things and things look a little different. However, I know one of my signature pieces are my piercings. People, that's just me. And then this is almost a conversation starter for those who
Yeah.
like it and those who don't.
Yeah.
They did that hurt? Is that and I have them all up and down my ears, all on my face and things like that. But that's how I like to show up in the world. That's
Yeah.
part of my dance to the beat of a different drum. That's part of my
Yes.
adornment. I and another signature piece for me are earrings. I
Mhm.
nut up when I'm in public and I find out I left some earrings at home. We going
Okay.
to the store. We going to the store. I'm telling you now, I
Right.
don't care that I have piercings that are there. I need the big one. I need
Yes.
the big one. The lobe has to have something cute and dangly just because I like how it elongates me. I love
Yeah.
how it makes me look just cuter. So I have my own signature about how I present myself. It doesn't just have to be the type of clothing you wear. It could
Right.
be for some people, it's even their own fragrance. Kim has a fragrance, y'all. That baby smell like shea butter and incense. You hear me? Give her a hug. Give her a hug. See if you don't leave her smelling like some
They know when I'm at work because they can smell my perfume in
I
the elevator. It's body oils. I be going right to the beauty supply store. Stop playing.
don't care.
Everybody has their little, but everybody has their signature smell. Like you said, there's something. What is it that makes you unique?
Yes.
What is that signature thing about you? You know, and for me, it was a big paradigm shift when I lost the weight because this is the smallest that I've ever been in my adult life.
See?
So I had to change my style. The little moo and all of the jungle wear, you know, zebra prints and lions and tiger prints that I would wear all the time, you know, and certain style. It's not my style anymore. I had to change my style to suit my new body,
Yes.
and I had to embrace that, and that was a difficult thing to do too, because you know when you get, there's a lot of body dysmorphia that's going on out there. People
Yes.
are you know, seeing themselves in a different way. You have people who are bulimic, you have people who are anorexic, you have people
Yeah.
who, you know, are feel body shamed, and so there's a lot that goes into, you know, what you look like and your acceptance of that.
Exactly.
And if it's something that you're seeking to change, is there something about your style or something about you that you want to change, so that way, what you how you are on the inside, you are able to represent it on the outside as well. I mean, that may
Absolutely.
not always be the case, but like I said, people are making opinions or determinations about you
About
based
you.
on how you look.
Yeah.
And so, you know, if you look like, you know, you might be a little crazy, you're a little crazy, you have that little cock eye, something's wrong. People are going to be looking like, eh. So
Yes.
what are some things that you can do to make sure that the way that you want to be received is how you're presenting yourself? That's the biggest
Yes.
thing.
Absolutely. And that's how you fall in love with yourself. The more it's about how good you feel. That because when you feel real good, when you walk out that door, people
Yeah,
respond because you walk differently.
that's right.
You give it your aura is different. All that stuff shows up. So yeah, I agree, Kim. How you
Yeah,
show up, and that's your decision now. Because I'm
that's right.
telling you, when I go to that bus stop, I be having that robe on, but don't look in the car. Look at the boy getting off out the car, getting on the bus. I have my robe wrapped up. It looks cute from the top. Like if you was just looking through the window, I look like I got fur on. You know, that's what it looked like. But if you were looking too hard, now you minding my business. We got a problem. but
Okay.
but how we
Okay.
but it's still up to you how you want to show up on it. I even buy the cutest robes. So that's my point. You see what I'm saying? I'm still gonna wear stuff.
Exactly. Exactly. And my whole thing is, you know, be prepared again for how people are going to receive you based on how you
Now you
present yourself. You know, people are this, I'm gonna wear my bonnet and I'm gonna wear my slides and I'm gonna do this and that. Okay, but expect that you know there's something that comes along with that.
yes
And
it
that
is.
doesn't mean that, you know, and you may just be dressed out, you just running real quick to go in the store and do something. Okay, but we never know who
You
we're going
never
to
know.
interact with. If we're looking to date someone and we're looking for our soulmate, you know, they may not want to see us in our pajamas outside at the
Girl.
supermarket.
Girl, the
Oh,
finest men gonna be in the store when you walk in there with that bonnet on. I'm telling you now. I made that mistake one time. I ain't trying to
you
get no
don't know your
man.
future boss. You
Yeah,
don't
and
know
that's what I'm saying. I ain't
who's
trying to get
out
no
there.
man, but I still don't want
Yeah,
to look crazy. I don't want to
yeah,
look crazy when I'm in there.
yeah.
There might be a client who see me on YouTube one day. I don't know. She was in there looking
Yes.
real crazy. She had crusties in her, anyway, I was all crusty. She had a little drool on the side. She didn't wash her face. We're not doing that.
You're
Let me
so
go there. Peace,
ridiculous.
Medea.
Peace,
Peace, peace,
Medea.
peace.
Yes,
Yeah, let's go to
yes.
the 12 for I get rattling off about how people be out here looking crazy.
Okay. Oh, I gotta type in. I'm responding.
To Medea.
Yes, thank you for joining us. Thank you for saying, "Hey, what's up? What's up?" Okay, so again, like we said, the first question to ask yourself when you're falling in love with yourself is, you know, what do I look like, and
Yeah,
and am I accepting of that?
yeah,
Okay, all right, let's move on. Let's
yeah.
move on.
All
Oh,
right. Still kind of in the same realm of things. How do you dress on a typical day? Just a typical, not an atypical day, but on a regular basis.
Trina.
Peace, Trina. Good to see you, baby. Well, how you look on a typical day? I ain't talking about, okay. So there is a culture, Black culture used to be, you couldn't even sit in your house in your pajamas all day.
Right.
Like
Right.
that's real. Like they're very much get dressed, get up,
Oh
get
yeah.
dressed. And I understand the absolute notion behind that. You will find me in my moo. That's why you're supposed to be knocking on my door.
That's
You
why I
want
don't
me to look
answer.
cute. If you want to be cute, let me know you coming. But that's
Right.
my particular thing. But I understand and respect the whole idea behind people saying when you get up, get dressed, brush your teeth, wash your face, even if you're just going to go sit on the couch. I understand that fully. I understand people who have brand new babies and they get them dressed in a new outfit 4 times a day because you know the baby's gonna throw up and all the little other little poopies and
Right.
things that they're gonna do. But how do you dress? Because that's gonna make, especially think about this, Kim, when you're going through times of depression and sadness.
Right. That's right.
That's a perfect opportunity, even if you're not leaving the house, to
That's
put
right.
on the colors are going to matter. Whites,
Right.
them brights, things that when you're feeling sad, and this is kind of a postpartum thing where you feel yourself going through it for a few weeks in grief and things like that, those colors will help lift you out of your spaces.
Right.
That's based on how you dress on a typical day.
Right. Right. And just even getting out of bed, sometimes just getting out of bed and changing your clothes
And changing.
sometimes
Take a
helps
quick
to
shower.
change your mindset.
Yeah.
For me, when I think about dressing on a typical day, it just like the little caption says here, dress the part. Okay. Dress for what you're seeking to do. If your goal is to be in corporate America, then dress in corporate attire. Get used
Period.
to let that be your norm. Get used to being in those kind of clothes so that way
Yeah.
when you're in them, you're not feeling uncomfortable in them.
Yes.
If you're seeking to do something else, what is it that how is it that you want yourself to be
You
perceived? Are
perceive.
you dressing the part? And that's huge
Come
because
on.
sometimes you have people who don't know how to dress appropriately in certain places. And
Yes.
that's important.
Yeah.
Okay. On a typical day, if I know I work in a corporate office, so I'm going to dress the part. I'm going to have on, I'm not
Period.
gonna have no kitten heels because I don't like them, but I'm gonna have on my orthopedics because I can't wear heels anymore. But I'm going to have on my suit jacket. I'm going to have a suit jacket hanging behind my door. I'm going to have something to say. I make sure that my look can go from day to night. If I'm going somewhere afterwards and I want to dress down, I can take that jacket off and I can put on a belt or add different accessories. I'm going to dress the part for what it is that I'm engaging in. And that's something
Mhm.
that's important that you have to remember how you're dressing and are you dressing appropriately for the activity you're going to. If you're going
Yeah.
to the gym, you're not going to wear no 6-inch heels.
Yes. Come on.
You know what I'm saying? And if you're going to church, you're not going to be wearing no super mini skirt or anything else like
Yeah.
that because you don't want to be a distraction to
That.
those who are trying to worship.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? It's a matter of knowing how to be appropriate in your dress for
Yeah.
what it is that you're doing. That is critical. I'm a big stickler for stuff like that. It burns me if I just see people not dressed appropriately. If you go into a dinner where they have plates that are $1,000, a plate, you're not gonna go up in there with slides on and socks and
Ain't
some
gonna let
sweatpants.
you in that joint, okay?
You're not
And
going to
there's
do
a
that. Dress
reason.
appropriately. Dress for
Yeah.
how you want to be received.
It,
Dress for success, for the success of the goals that you have.
same thing when I go to the school for the kids at any little event that they're having or to meet with teachers or whatever. I look different than if me and G going out. Me and G going out, them girls are gonna be sitting so high. I want to distract him the whole dinner. That's what I'm doing. However, if I go to the school, I don't want the children being like got milk.
Right.
And the daddies looking my direction. And I see that. I
Right.
see and I respect this is what I have right now. Kim, let me ask you if you remember this.
Yes.
You remember we would go to church together.
Yes.
You know where I'm going? And I had on a dress and I hit you before we went to church
Yes.
about a blazer because I knew my shoulders were out and I know I got tattoos and stuff like that. So
Right.
you brought a blazer to church for
I
me.
did.
But I had to come grab it from you up there at the front before I
Yes.
could put it on. And that became the topic of conversation. I'll never
Yes.
live that down. Even though you're supposed to come as you are.
Right.
I'll never live that down simply because I didn't have a blazer. And sometimes people have to show up. They want to be there.
Right.
The mama want to be there for her baby and she may not have the most appropriate things. So we try not to judge people so much.
Right.
However, it is an important part of how you feel about yourself.
Right.
Because
Right.
even that day, walking up to you to get the blazer, it was like, can I be hidden through this wall and get to Kim?
Right. Right.
Did she pass it
Right.
through the wall? Type thing. But
Right.
we do what
Right.
we got to do. But it's important to consider how you dress on a typical day because it makes you feel some kind of way about you, and you deserve
That's it.
to
That's
feel all the love that you desire on a
mhm.
daily basis.
True, true. Like you said, they have signature pieces, have things in your closet, even if it's just one blazer. If that's all you can afford to have is one blazer, go to GW. You know that's my spot, the Goodwill.
Now that
GW.
I know,
Go go and get you a black blazer or a brown blazer or
yeah,
something like that. That's going to carry through and have signature pieces that you can pull out if you need them
yes,
in a pinch, but dress the part for how you want to be received, for how for if it, like I said, if your goal is to be an entrepreneur and you're going to have to go into businesses, do you have the proper attire to wear when you're going into these
hmm,
business meetings or conferences? And it may not be anything. It may be jeans. Your attire may be jeans and a doggone t-shirt. And
yeah,
if that's it, so be it. Make sure that your jeans and your t-shirts are pressed or that they're wrinkle free, so they're like you just rolled out of the bed or like you just came out the yard. It's just a matter of be appropriate in your dress is the bottom line. So think about how you dress on a typical day, and is it representative of how you want to be received while
and
you're
how
out
you
here in
feel
these
about
streets?
you.
That's it.
Hmm.
All right, moving on. Okay, what do you like? Ask yourself, what do you like? And the saying there says, doing what you like is freedom. Liking what you do is happiness. Now, this one really resonates with me because when my daughter passed away 15 years ago, when she passed away, and at the time I was going through my third divorce. Yes, I
Hmm.
said third. And my daughter had just graduated college and she was moving up to New York. So I was empty nesting. So I went from having a full house to all of a sudden living by myself. And
Hmm.
I remember my friends saying to me, they said, Kim, your kids are not there, may your daughter rest in peace, but your oldest daughter's gone, you're divorced, you're single now. What
Yeah,
do you want to do? What do you like to do?
yeah,
I had absolutely no idea. I was so defined by the roles that I played in everybody else's life that I forgot what I liked. I
yes,
went to the supermarket and I put $300 worth of groceries in my shopping cart. And then I realized there's nobody at the house, Kim. As I was like, oh, I'll just pull out what I like. I wound up walking out of the store. I left the store because I didn't know what I liked. I knew what everybody else liked, but I didn't know what I liked. And so I really had to dig deep and soul search and say, okay, what are some things that I like? Or what are some things that I used to like? I was so used to conforming to what everybody else did
mm,
that I forgot about me. And just like they said on here, doing what you like is freedom. And
yes,
then it's happiness. It brings you joy when you get to do the things that you like. And you
yes.
don't feel animosity for always having to do what everybody else wants to
What
do and you don't ever
everybody
get to do what
wants
you
to
want to
do.
do. And
Absolutely,
half of the time you don't do what you want to do because you don't know what you like to
because
do.
you don't even know.
Figure it out. Yep.
Yes, that's a big one. I mean, almost every single one of my clients I ask that question. They do not know how to answer it, and more so women. More so, we aren't really taught that you have when you become more of a thing, you still are you. So the
Right.
foundation is you. You're just building on top of you. Well, we lose us and morph into all these different roles, forgetting who is Sheronda, not the mother, not the friend, not the daughter, not the sister, not the cousin, not the life coach, not none of those titles. Who is Sheronda and what is she like? And that's
Mhm.
one of those things that I still try to get in touch with. I don't want that story to ever end. I don't want to ever not know that. And I want that to always be expansive. What do I
Right.
like to do? Yes, I love being a life coach. That is my favorite thing outside of being a mother. I absolutely love being a life coach. However, I'm not that at 20, I'm not that 24/7. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Once I have that hour session, I'm back to Sheronda again, or I'm going back to some mom stuff. But if I have a free weekend, why look like sitting around and can't figure out what I want to do? because I don't know me. Because I
Right.
spent so much time. Oh, the kids like going to McDonald's, or the kids like doing this, or G likes doing that. You go ask G right now what he like doing. I bet you're gonna rattle off at least three things. Men tend to know a lot better than we do about what it is we like. So loving yourself is honoring who you are. Loving yourself is knowing what you like. Being in love with yourself says, I like to go window shopping. I like walking through the mall. I like going to places where I could do athletic activities. I like going to what's that little mystery place they got down there? I want to go do that with you. I feel like we're gonna cackle the whole time. The rooms,
Oh, you're talking about the what's the name? The escape
the
rooms?
escape room. I want to cackle
Oh,
with you as I want them things.
oh my goodness. We definitely gonna make a date to do that because I
Yes,
love that.
yes,
Like think about like pottery classes, those the little sip and paint. You know,
yes.
me and Sheronda did a sip
Oh,
and
I
paint.
loved.
Yeah. It's a little thorn in my side, but yes, I'm gonna bring it up. Yes, because we did one, and it was a picture of a woman, and she had her head wrapped up. And why when Sheronda made hers, she made hers had a side eye. So when we took our picture next to each other, her picture like she was giving mine the side eye, and I was like, really, this is what we doing? Okay, child. But you create memories. I will
Oh,
never
that was
we
funny.
did that years ago, but
That
I will
picture's
never
still hanging
forget
up
it
too.
because it was something that we enjoyed. Okay, I still got my hand. I'm looking over, because I'm looking right at my picture right here. It's sitting right here in my office, and yeah, and
Y'all,
that was
my
something
picture is
that
sitting
I
at the
enjoyed
front
too.
door, so it's side eye everybody that
And
comes.
side eyes, everybody that's coming in there. Okay, I saw it when I was there last time too. I was like, really? I
Side
didn't snatch
eye
it off the wall, but
everybody. Did
but
we do
that's
the pottery class together? Wasn't that me and you did the pottery that made the. That wasn't me and you.
but no, I
'Cause I
don't
remember
think
I
so.
did SLB for it was like, it felt like it was a business thing, but it was just me and somebody else. And I could have sworn that was you. Maybe not.
No, it might not have been. I don't know. But the whole point of it is there's a lot of things that we like to do. There
Yeah.
are a lot of things that you could do collectively with somebody else, but it's still something that you enjoy too, so that you're both getting something out of it. Me and
Yes.
my husband went through a little stage where we were on these puzzles. And we'd
Ah,
be up to like
yeah.
1 o'clock in the morning putting puzzles
Yeah.
together, 100,000 piece puzzles.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, I just bought one the other day. It's clear. It doesn't have anything on it. It's just the shapes. It's
Oh no.
141 pieces. And I'm like, oh yeah. He was like, nah, girl, you're gonna be doing that one by yourself. And that's all right. I will. I'll do it.
Yep.
Because it's something that I enjoy. But
Yes.
that's the thing. We have to be able to take a break. Like I said, I love the GW. I'm going to the Goodwill at least once a week. That's my spot. That's my thing.
Yeah.
That's what I like. It brings me joy to go in there and flip through them racks. There's
Yes.
just something about the sound of them hangers sliding across that rack that
This
does
is
it
so
for
great.
me. It does it for me. But that's the thing. It's finding the things that you like and,
Yeah.
and enjoying them when you can. It doesn't have to be anything so grandiose. It can
It
be
don't have
something
to.
small. It can be the smallest of things.
Yeah.
Even if it's just sitting and meditating, even if it's just riding your bike, even anything. But make sure that you're doing something that you like and not always doing something that everybody else likes.
Yeah. Everybody
Because what
else.
happens when that person is gone, or if something happens, or that relationship is not there? Then you just going to sit around and not do anything for yourself?
Because you don't know what you like. Kim,
That's it.
I just told my friends today. I said every time I buy Dunkin' Donuts coffee and I sip it, the coffee gets out the cup, wraps its arms around me, and says, I love you. And it gets back in the cup. That's how I feel. I have
That's
a true passionate experience with my cup of coffee from Dunkin' Donuts.
it. Okay. You don't play about your Dunkin'
No,
Donuts, and
I
then you
don't.
don't be playing about that bagel neither. Sometimes it's the cream cheese.
I've been good with the bagels now because I was like, all right, the bagel doing the belly. And the bagel, it wants to go to the belly. And I have to pace myself with the
Right.
bagel. But that coffee,
Okay.
baby, I'm not going to get
Okay.
past my Dunkin'. I'm not going to get past.
That's it.
And I don't even
Find
go
your
there
small
often. But
joy.
every so often when I want to celebrate me, when I just want to have a love experience with me,
That's it.
it's just a cup of coffee. But
That's
that's
it.
just something that I love. And that's what everybody deserves to have their thing.
That's it. That's it. So, Figure out what it is that you like and
Mhm.
start embracing that. And like you said, let that be that thing that you do when you want to celebrate yourself, when you want to celebrate a small win. Go and do that very thing. You
Yes.
know, just like
Mhm.
it says, liking what you do is happiness. We
Yes.
want happiness. We want joy. We want to reestablish joy back in our life and not feel like everything has to be a chore, you know?
Yes.
All right, let's move on. I'm stepping down from the soapbox.
So ask yourself, what is your behavior in different situations? Falling in love with you is being aware of how you show up and your responses and reactions to different things. The saying here says, acquire worldly wisdom and adjust your behavior accordingly. If your new behavior gives you a little temporary unpopularity with your peer group, then the hell with them. You know me, FTF.
F them folks.
F them folk. Who cares? You know, because sometimes the biggest blessings and the biggest wisdom opportunities I've had are when I had to go against the grain. It is when I had to show up for me differently than I ever did before. People don't
Right.
always like when you become something different. People
Right.
like to have assumptions and expectations of what you are going to do and not going to do. I like to keep people on their toes.
Yes,
You
you do.
don't know what I'm about to do. You don't know how I'm about to show up. And I like it because don't worry about that. Whatever I choose to do is because I love her. It's because I'm madly in love with her. Because I think she's absolutely beautiful. Because I know she deserves her peace. I know that sometimes she's tired. And I know what it feels like to push myself beyond myself and
Yeah.
how I suffered in those spaces and there was nobody to pick me up after the fact. I burnt myself on both ends and there was nothing else left. And I had to figure it out from there. So
Yeah.
therefore, no, I'm going to behave the way I choose to in given situations, still as an authentic representation of myself. Because what we're talking about today, I've fallen in love with myself.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love that. And, it's important to remember, to respond and not react. That's why I love that first sentence where it says acquire worldly wisdom
Yes.
and adjust your behavior accordingly. What is that saying that they always say? When you know better, you do better.
Hmm.
Okay. So if there's something that you're not clear about, or there's something that you're learning about, then once you acquire that wisdom, adjust your behavior accordingly.
Yes.
There may be something that you've done in the past, or you may have felt a certain way about something, and then you learn differently. You don't just keep doing it. You don't just keep being, you know, for, for better term, you don't keep being an asshole just to keep being one. Why? Why, if you've learned better?
Yes.
If you learned and you've acquired that wisdom, why not adjust that? Adjust your mindset.
Yes.
Why are you not changing your behavior based on what you've learned?
Yes.
The same thing with having arguments with people and things like that. If you find out differently, you can't go back and apologize to that person because we're not perfect.
Yes.
So sometimes there are going to be things that are going to happen and we may have to apologize for them, or we may have to, like I said, adjust our way of thinking with
Yeah.
regards to something or regards to someone,
Yes.
because we've learned differently.
Yeah.
So we have to be willing to do that. We don't want to be known as that person who's stubborn, that person that's so set in their ways that they can't ever change. You have to be open-minded and be willing to adjust accordingly, because things change.
Yes. Oh, child.
It's about wisdom. we
Yeah.
we we respond out of wisdom. We react out of ignorance. Remember
Period.
that.
Period.
you
Okay.
know
The trail, and this could, we're not trying to say that you have to conform to any true ideology of what the right behavior is, because the right behavior looks different in every given situation. So
right.
last night we were talking about the trailblazers of the world, those historic figures who had to go. Their wisdom showed them, I have
Yeah.
to go against the grain in this very moment. Martin Luther King knew through his wisdom that he couldn't walk the same walk that other people were walking. He couldn't just sit back and be like, well, let's just listen to the white folk.
Right.
Let's just do what they're saying. Let's not drink from their fountains. Let's not do no. He took a approach that was different than Malcolm,
Right.
absolutely. But that was what he had to do. That's what he was called to do. That's how he showed up in the world. Like I talked about Harriet Tubman, Moses, how she was like, so we just gonna sit here and say we slaves?
Right.
You sure we're gonna do? Let me tell you what we're not fitting to do. And she had to adjust. She made adjustments just to be sacrificial because she could have just saved herself. Let's be clear. She made so many trips and freed so many people. I can't remember. I used to know the numbers. I don't remember them anymore. But the point is, your behavior has to show up in the way that you know that you can be accountable and look at yourself at the end of the day and say, I love her.
That's
I
right.
love him. I
That's right.
love how I showed up in that situation versus I'm embarrassed. I overreacted. That was stupid. And then I'm gonna go do it again tomorrow.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. That's it.
Don't do
That's
that.
it. All right. So, like you said, think about your behavior. Think about the things that you're doing. What are some things that you've learned? What are some adjustments that you have to make? What are some course corrections that you have to make about your thinking and
Yeah,
and the way that you respond to
yeah,
certain people and to certain things? It's never about behaving in a way that's going to harm someone or defame someone or to verbally abuse
yeah.
someone based on your behaviors and your reactions over your responses. So it's important to
Absolutely.
remember that. All right, let's move on.
All right.
This is our final one for today.
Okay.
How do you expect to be treated by others?
Hmm.
What's that saying? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Period.
Think about how you're treating yourself. Are you treating yourself well? It says, if people are not treating you well, then you should reevaluate how you treat yourself. People are going to feed you off of the spoon that you give them.
Period.
Okay, so if you're not treating yourself well and they see that you're not, by your appearance or by the way you carry yourself, you're
Yeah.
showing that you don't care about yourself. It's like you're giving people permission to treat you
Permission.
that same way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So be careful about how you're treating yourself. If you're not combing your hair and brushing your teeth or bathing or doing things to keep up with your appearance and with your health, it's going to show and people are going to treat you accordingly.
Yeah. Yeah. And the spiritual science behind that is the reason people treat you how you treat yourself is because you submit to it because it's familiar.
Right.
So if I'm always talking bad about myself, if somebody I meet starts talking bad about me, I'm going to be okay with it because it's a familiar song. We're singing the same song now.
Right.
Now we're
Right.
on the same wavelength. I've attracted. I'm on the same frequency. I'm exactly who you're who I am. I am who you are. And so we're going to commiserate in that same space. And that person actually probably don't love themselves either, because people who don't love themselves kind of congregate. And
Misery loves company.
misery loves company. And so that's why when you have learning to love yourself, when you're falling in love with yourself, when you're planning your new era, you're teaching yourself new ways to talk to you.
Right.
You do that first. See, so
I
people make the
think so.
mistake of want to correct every damn body around now. No, you correct you first. And
Right.
then they're either forced to align with who you are now or they leave. That's
Yes.
what's so important about the planning a new era. It's not about, ooh, all these people. No, fuck them. It's you.
Right. Right.
You. They may be wrong, but you allow the wrongness to exist because of what you're doing here.
That's it. That's
That's
it.
it.
I love it when they say that, when you're so busy pointing at one person, the other three fingers is pointing back at you. Okay. Remember that. So, yeah, you have to check yourself. Just like you
Yep.
said, evaluate yourself and see how you're treating yourself. And
Yep.
sometimes you'll be surprised. It says, do not be surprised if you've been treating yourself negatively.
Yeah. I was
Just
gonna
what
do
we
that
just
one.
just
Yeah. But that's what we were just talking about.
yeah,
People will show you. Look,
that's it.
I'm looking over my glasses at people. People will show
That's
you.
right. That's right.
People, even at jobs and everything like that. the more you dislike anything about your life, the more you have to check yourself. That's just the beginning and end of that story.
Yeah.
Beginning, end. That's a clear fact. The,
Right.
the happier you are with you, the more that you're going to be connected to places that make you happy.
That's right.
That's just the bottom line of it. So you deserve it. And Kim, this moment in time, this blip on the radar that we do this show is so. It's like I want to have a class so that I can teach people this on a long term basis,
Yeah.
because you can say it to somebody one time, but when they've been indoctrinated in it, even for me, and this is, I apologize if I'm offensive to anyone, but for me in church, I felt that I had to be so submissive to people and allow
Mm.
them to cause me pain, because I had to turn the other cheek and I had to treat people differently, and they could be, just like felt like I could be run over.
Mm.
And I had to just pray and ask the Lord to forgive them. And
Yeah.
over time, I was like, this feels so abusive. It felt like an abusive relationship. And that may
Mm.
not even been what they intended to teach or
Right.
what the Bible even intended when it was saying certain things. But that's how I came out of it. So when you already have those shadows of pain and trauma, and then on top of it, you're going to a church every Sunday that's saying, turn the other cheek. Sometimes people are going to say things, you just walk away and you do this and you do that. I ended up being in relationships that I really shouldn't have been in.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you said, it becomes a thing of what are your boundaries? What are those things that, you know, if if your expectation of how others are treating you is not, in alignment, then, it's time to start evaluating those relationships. It's time to
Yes.
start looking and seeing if it's toxicity on your behalf or the other person's behalf.
Yeah.
And then what are you going to do about that? Like you said, you don't want to stay in that vacuum of constantly being around people who are going to treat you negatively, or that are going to cause you to start displaying levels of toxicity yourself.
Yeah.
So it's important to do that,
Yeah.
to be true to yourself and say, okay, am I comfortable with the way people are treating me?
Yes.
Is this something that feels good to me? Is this something that brings me joy? Or is this something that I need to reevaluate? I
Yeah.
need to check into that.
Ready for this next one?
Yes, the next one, yeah, on here. This is our final slide for today.
Yeah.
So
The next one on here. So
yes.
this next one says sometimes you would treat yourself negatively without even realizing
Mm.
it. Ugh. It's so it's I've experienced it, but it still makes me sick to my stomach on those times. Thinking about those
Mm.
moments where I allowed myself just to beat myself up. And like I was talking about that last night about how sometimes you have to go off on yourself
Yes.
because you have to check those parts of you that did do that. I have to check myself sometimes when I'm trying to, girl, you shouldn't have, that was dumb, you stupid. And those moments I have to get, no, you're not stupid.
Right.
That decision may not have been great. Not all of you is stupid. That's crazy,
That's right.
Sharonda. Stop.
That's right. I love it.
So we have to learn how to be able to catch that thing to be able to stop it here, because the
Hmm.
more we say it here, the more you believe it,
That's
and
right.
then those behaviors show up. So now you're treating yourself negatively. You're not
That's right.
doing the things, the self-love things of buying flowers, running your intentional bath. When we talk about doing self-love things, it is with the intention of loving on myself. It's not
That's
just
right.
I'm walking into Kroger and picking up a bouquet of flowers because I'm just picking it up. It's automatic. No, I'm intentionally, this is my moment to shine for me. I'm about to
That's right.
go over here and go to this florist. I'm gonna put together my own little bouquet, and I'm gonna bring it home and put it in my vase, water it, and just enjoy it, because this is what I created for me. If I'm gonna do that spiritual bath, I'm going to pick out the perfect roses. I'm gonna do yellow and red, or whatever
Right.
I want to do. I'm just gonna do pink today. Do some black rose. I'm gonna do my bath, and I'm gonna get this specific bath salt, and I'm gonna put these specific candles up, because that's what it means to me. That's what the self-love looks like, intentionally, because the more intentionally you do it, the less likely you're going to treat yourself negatively.
That's right. That's right. Like I said, we don't need to belabor that one, but just like you said, sometimes we're treating ourselves negatively without realizing, and we have to be. That's where those affirmations come in. That's where that
Yeah.
positive self talk comes in, where we have to be able to say, okay, wait, let me step back, because just like you said, it's not. You may have made a silly, or decision at that particular time, but that doesn't mean that every decision that you ever made has been a silly one.
Yes.
Okay, so we have to, stop putting, a big umbrella over it and saying that it's everything that I do. No, it was just that one particular thing.
That
Oh,
one.
that may not have been the smartest thing that I've done. It doesn't mean I've never done smart things in my life, because I
Yeah.
have,
You
you
know where
know.
you see this a lot? People who are in long-term relationships
Hmm.
and they get in the ends. And I get it. And they may have had children together, things like that. So now I want to beat myself up
Hmm.
for wasting so many years. I wasted my best years of your life, baby. You don't know what your best years are yet. You
Right,
don't know what your best years are. You have not finished living. So until you
right,
finish living, you don't know what the best ones were. Those were just the ones that you needed at the time to get you to where you are today.
right.
So you see that a lot when people are like, oh my God, I wish I had never 7, 8, 10, 20 years they were with a person. Okay, what we gonna do now?
Right.
How's this new experience gonna look different? How you
Mhm.
gonna create your new era? How you
That's
gonna
it.
redefine you?
Bam, bam. Love it. Can't say it any clearer than that. Okay. One thing that you can do is write down exactly what you would like, how you like others to treat you. Make that list, okay,
Ooh,
of things that are deal breakers, and those things that you feel would inspire you. What does that look like? A
yeah,
person who, if your love language is affection, so you may put down that, I expect to be with the person who doesn't mind, public displays of affection.
yeah,
Somebody who does not mind holding hands or cuddling or snuggling. That
yeah,
may be something that feeds into your love language. So it's just a matter of writing down those things. A person who may drink excessively or smoke excessively or something like that, that
yeah.
may not be your cup of tea. That may not be something you don't like. You keep a house that doesn't have smoking and the person smokes cigarettes. You may be like, that's a deal breaker for me, because I don't
Oh,
want that in my house. I don't want that in my furniture. That may be the thing. So yes, writing down those things, also makes it so.
yes,
Sometimes when we write it and we see it in black and white, we can begin to start to connect with it and say, oh, okay, that's something that came out of me. It's not just something that was in my mind. It's now on paper. It's something that's real to me.
yes,
So
yes.
it's important to be able to write those things down.
And I love how it falls into this last one. And then go through each one and see if you're treating yourself the way you want others to. That's one of my favorite things about being a life coach. How you have that full 360 encounter with somebody. Okay, first we're gonna do this. And then now let's bring it all the way back around. Let's bring it back home.
That's
Because
it.
are you I want people who gonna buy me, I want a man who will buy me flowers. I want somebody who's gonna do this, wear my bath water. I want somebody who's okay, that's not impossible. I want somebody who's gonna rub my feet. Things like that. Can't go with the feet thing anyway. But you want those specific things. But guess what? If you take care of your feet, somebody gonna want to rub them.
Okay.
If they busted, you can't be mad. Nobody want to spend some time on them hammer toes.
Ooh,
If
just
you're
say
not taking care of them, making them look pretty, you don't have to go get them done necessarily. Soak them yourself, lotion them down, put a sock on it once in a while.
right, right,
Put some
right.
Vaseline inside. You'd be surprised how pretty their feet come out. My mother got
Okay,
at her age. My mother got some of the prettiest feet because she's been Vaseline and putting socks on as long as I've been born, child.
okay,
Her feet
okay,
nice and soft, baby. She is not
okay.
playing
You already know they call me the oil ministry, because I'm not going nowhere. I'm about
nowhere.
shiny as a new penny. I ain't gonna be dry. I'm just not. Not going to be dry. I'm gonna have me some oil. It's always just a stone throw away. I'm looking, because I'm looking, my purse is right there, and
I
I'm
told
telling you.
y'all she smelled like an African shop. I'm
Okay,
trying
I
to tell
don't play
you
about
now.
that.
She got some tea trees, some shea butter, some eucalyptus. It's gonna be some. She smells good. That's not an insult.
I ain't
I'm
playing
not
with you. I ain't
insulting.
playing with you. But it goes back to it goes back to knowing thyself. All
Mhm,
of these things talking about falling in love with you is about knowing yourself,
mhm.
knowing what you like and dislike, knowing how your representing and presenting yourself in the world. All of these things are encompassing of creating or planning that new era of who you're going to be. In order to know who you're going to be and where you're going, you have to know yourself. And so,
Yes.
think about these questions, ask yourself these questions, and start seeing if there are any changes that you need to be making in your life that are going to lead you towards that better version of you.
Period. Kim, we need to
Period.
go down to the African shop for real, or the crystal shop or somebody. I need some new earrings. I love these earrings.
Those are super cute. Okay. You're not gonna little other earring. Okay, I ain't playing with you.
Yes, we haven't
All
had a
right.
good hangout day like that. We're gonna do something
Oh,
like
we
that
got to
real
go.
soon.
We gonna do it. We gonna do
Go
it.
for what we need to do the most.
That's it. That's it. But y'all, like I said, this is part one of the 4-part series of falling in love with you, planning your new era. Hopefully, like I said, you'll get to look at these questions, and we'll have some fresh new ones for you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
Okay, make sure that you like, follow, share, and subscribe with us. Go to our website. I mean, to our YouTube channels. They've been scrolling across the bottom of the screen. There'll be a QR code that you can click on when the show ends, and follow us. Check us out. Leave us some DMs. Let us know what you're thinking and what's going on and some of the questions that you may have. Find out about Sheronda's institute and about her meetings that she's going to be having. Join me in my 365-day challenge. Check us out. Know
yeah,
what's going on with us so that way we know what's going on with you and we can help you to redefine your authenticity.
yes.
And until we see you next time, y'all, we say peace.